Hi, I'm Peter Alsop. I'm so glad you stopped by. This week's Song to Chew comes from my Christmas Holidays album. It's called I Believe You. There are so many times when kids have something going on that confuses them or makes them feel uncomfortable. And when they tell a grown-up about it, it's not at all uncommon for the grown-up to say, "Oh, come on, that didn't happen, you're making that up." Even with the best of intentions, parents and other grown-ups can have a really hard time addressing some of the frustrating problems that kids face these days. "Well, I don't know what to do. You must have done something to get treated that way." It can be really hard to speak up for yourself when you're a kid, and even when you're an adult, especially when someone you trust doesn't believe you. It feels devastating. When someone comes to you with their problems, you might be fully justified in saying, "Hey, I told you so." But that really isn't going to be very helpful for that person, child or adult, who maybe just needs a good listening to. I want to be a safe place for my family and friends when they're struggling with something. And I recognize that one of my biggest struggles in doing this is that it's hard for me to be present and just listen. I always want to jump in and try to solve their problem with my ideas. So I've been practicing my listening skills. If I can just be quiet, allow them to talk, it kind of helps them figure out their own best way to proceed. So now, let's all practice our listening skills, and we'll play our song to chew for today, I Believe You.
Grown-ups never believe kids.
Well, that's true sometimes, but I believe you. Come here.
When you tell me you are scared, I will listen 'cause I care. I remember being scared too, so when you tell me I believe you. When you're angry or you're sad, even if you're feeling bad, I remember feeling bad too, so when you tell me I believe you. Maybe I can help you with an idea. Maybe I know something that'll make things clear. Or maybe I won't know what to do, but I can be a safe place and I believe you. When I was a kid I cried, had a secret deep inside, but the grown-ups could not see. I thought that something must be wrong with me. So when you tell me you are scared, I will listen 'cause I care. I remember being scared too, so when you tell me I believe you. When you tell me I believe you. When you tell me I believe you.
The gorgeous background vocals were sung by Ellen Geer, Shelby Flint, and Melora Marshall. Electric piano by my pal, Greg Hilfman. And I got to whistle for the musical break. I think we all know when someone's scared, even if we want to say, "Don't be scared, there's nothing to be scared of," it doesn't really help very much. The scared feelings they're feeling are their scared feelings, not ours. Has anyone ever told you, "Don't be scared"? Did it work? Never worked for me. I was still scared. The only thing that it did was to convince me that I wasn't going to tell that person about my deep feelings anymore. They just showed me that they weren't a safe person to tell. If we want to be a safe person or a safe place for people we love who are having problems, people who are upset or angry or scared or sad, then it really helps if we have a healthy feelings vocabulary ourselves. If we have some experience feeling angry or scared or sad ourselves, then we're more able to listen to them tell us about their painful feelings, because feelings are contagious. Did you know that? If someone else is feeling sad, that can bring up our own sad feelings, right? Or if someone's angry at us and they yell or wave their arms around, did you ever notice that you get louder too, and all of a sudden you're yelling back at them and waving your arms around too? And what about being scared? I know that's contagious. I remember once when I was a kid, I had a friend stay over at our house. We camped out in our backyard in my tent. At first, I wasn't scared or anything, but then my friend said, "Hey, did you hear that?" All of a sudden, I got really scared too, and I said, "Yeah, what do you think it was?" "I don't know," he said, and then we heard it again. Something was rubbing the outside of our tent, trying to get in. We both held our breath. And then we heard this sound, both at the same time. Meow, meow. It was my cat, Leo. But that's how I know that feelings can be contagious. So, when someone else is scared or sad or angry, I try to be a safe place for them and just listen and support them and be with them so they can figure it out themselves. And then, if they ask, maybe I can help them figure out what's going on. I listen to a lot of people's problems, and I've noticed that some people, adults too, not just kids, think that when they have a problem, it must be because there's probably something wrong with them, that they're a bad person. But calling ourselves good or bad doesn't really help us get clear about what's going on. So I like to use verbs, action words, because they're much more helpful than using noun labels. When we label someone, it just kind of puts them in a category where we can forget about them and nothing changes. But when we use verbs, they help us figure out what people are doing. And that gets us thinking about if we could be doing something differently, something that could make things better. So, if we can be a safe place by just listening, we can give others a chance to figure out what they can do differently. And it's a lot easier to change what we do than it is to change who we are. And it's easy for me to tell someone else, "I believe you," because I know the story they're telling me is true for them, even if it's not exactly true for me. Okay, I think that's plenty of ideas to chew on for now. I'm Peter Alsop, and thank you for stopping by. I'll be back next week with another song to chew.